Is the Florian Wirtz deal to Liverpool actually happening? Is it delayed? We've got two of the most credible journalists, Fabrizio Romano and David Ornstein, on opposite sides of this deal. David Ornstein has said the deal isn't actually done yet. There's still not a final confirmation between Leverkusen and Liverpool. Fabrizio Romano has said there's a here we go. Normally, that means it's happening. Son has got more and more links out there to Saudi Arabia. And Ali Gold has said there's a lot more chance it happens this summer than any other summer before. And Mikel Arteta is pushing and absolutely in love with Rodrygo in an Arsenal shirt. The club want him as their priority signing. The Benjamin Sesko talks expected to be today/tomorrow. We've got lots to get into. Make sure you go down, drop a like on the video if you haven't already, and let me know your thoughts on every single topic we discuss. And make sure you are smashing the granny out of this subscribe button. We just hit 56K, less than 4,000 subscribers away now from the big 60, and we just hit 56.1. So big up to every single one of you. Now I want to start off with Son, a Tottenham legend, Tottenham captain, one of the best players we've had in the Premier League era, a phenomenal goal scorer in his time, well over 100 Premier League goals. Been an absolute, you couldn't really ask for much better performer. You know, the chance of Heung-min Son moving to Saudi Arabia are higher now than they were when they last approached Son in 2023. A move to the MLS is believed to be some of interest of Son. However, MLS sides are less likely to have funds to do such a deal. Now, I'm going to be brutally honest. I love Son, but I do think we need to look at life with Son at a different football club. He's 33 in July. He's been a magnificent player for this football club in the 9-10 years he's been here. You know, he joined back in 28th of August, 2015. He's approaching 10 years in a few months' time. But I just think now he needs to move on, not only for himself. Tottenham need to look at, look at something else. His record in a Spurs shirt is 274 GA in 454 games. You know, been a player in the Bundesliga, played for Leverkusen, played for Hamburg, 652 appearances in his career, and nearly 400 GA on that. You know, I think he's been unbelievable, but he is 33 in July. And I do think the club need to look at alternative targets, bring them in, younger players that are prepared. I'm not saying Son's not prepared, but we're prepared to spend the money on. You know, Leroy Sané was a name. He's now going to Galatasaray. Tyler Diblin is a name. Semenyo, Brian Mbeumo. Once Thomas Frank has been appointed, I think the decision on Son's future will probably be happening in the next couple of weeks. And not only that, you want to command the best amount of money you can. So Saudi Arabia probably right now is the most logical sense when it comes to getting a big transfer fee for it, because they do pay top money. Now, last night is where things got very interesting in the Liverpool fan base. Fabrizio Romano said this 15 hours ago. Exclusive. Florian Wirtz to Liverpool. He said those famous three words. Here we go. He went on to say, Liverpool verbally agreed deal in principle with Bayer Leverkusen for a package reaching 150 million euros, add-ons included. Player side already agreed 2 weeks ago, and now move imminent. Wirtz set for medical and contract signing. Now, where this got really interesting, right, is David Ornstein is, in my opinion, just as credible. He said last night that an hour after what Romano said, Liverpool/Bayer Leverkusen talks over Florian Wirtz at the final stages. So he's saying it's not done. Clubs in daily contact to reach an agreement. So there isn't an agreement at the moment. Second bid, not rejected. Whereas I thought it was rejected. Dialogue continues to settle structure, add-ons, payments. Al Hilal inquired to Liverpool for Nunes. So there's nothing on there. If you go back to Romano's tweet, there's nothing on what David Ornstein said about the £150 million. Now, David Ornstein hasn't really spoken about Florian Wirtz in the last couple of days. Romano's retweeted it a couple of times. He's pinned it as his current tweet. He's also said that the 150 million euros is with add-ons included. But there's nothing in which David Ornstein has said that this is happening. So who do you believe, people? Do you believe Ornstein or do you believe Romano? Some people think Romano's doing this to build up traction. Other people think David Ornstein is just waiting. Now, I want to talk about Rodrygo in an Arsenal shirt because I spoke about this last night. And there's a lot of sources coming out more and more by the day that believe he will be an Arsenal player. The Madrid Zone is one of the biggest Real Madrid Twitter accounts out there. And they have said Mikel Arteta is in love with Rodrygo. The coach carefully studied Rodrygo and he is totally certain that Rodrygo would be a superstar at Arsenal, playing on the left wing. He also goes on to say, the coach carefully studied Rodrygo and he is totally certain that Rodrygo would be a superstar at Arsenal, playing on the left wing. Arteta really, really wants Arsenal to sign Rodrygo this summer. Interesting, because a lot of people yesterday have also said that. Now Arsenal has put out pretty much the exact same tweet from the same source. Arteta really, really wants Arsenal to sign Rodrygo this summer. So, listen, could this potentially be happening? I look at it right now in terms of Rodrygo in an Arsenal shirt. Even Transfer Live have quoted this source. This must be, I mean, they only really post credible reports, but it's the same report. He really, really wants the Gunners to sign him this summer. Now, we know he's available for around £80 million. And with what Liverpool are doing last night, what City are doing with their free signings, they absolutely have to make a statement signing, very, very soon. Dean James, an Arsenal Twitter account, has also said that Arteta is absolutely in love. He's carefully studied the player and he's pushing the board to sign him. Now, Rodrygo put here, saying this yesterday, Rodrygo this, Rodrygo that, Rodrygo here and there. Arsenal fans, can we rest now? He's cut out and put on his Instagram account saying Feliz, which means happy. So just because he said that last night doesn't necessarily mean he won't be leaving Real Madrid. Now, if Arteta is pushing, if Arsenal want him as their priority signing, they will do their absolute best to go out there and sign him. They really, really will. I look at it in terms of, I think Arsenal have to go out there and make the statement considering what Liverpool have just done. City have got Ain't Nouri, Cherky and Reinders done for around £100 million. There's a lot of, Ben Jacobs has said recently that Sesko is currently on holiday. When he returns this week, Arsenal is said to step up their pursuit, which is why there is a meeting taking place with regards to Benjamin Sesko. I think that deal is happening. I'm very, very confident in what Florian Plettenberg was saying that it's happening. And the fact that he's just repinned his tweet on his Twitter account, Florian Plettenberg, who he knows the most credible source when it comes to Bundesliga news, saying Arsenal are now in concrete talks. Marcel Schäfer and Andrea Berta are in contact. We know Arteta is a big admirer of the 21-year-old. So that deal, I think, will happen. It's just a matter of when is it going to be Rodrygo. Now, another Arsenal target, a Tottenham target as well. Leroy Sané for 15 million euros a year, which is about 300,000 euros a week. Leroy Sané is joining Galatasaray. Gala wants to make a strong push in the Champions League as well. I mean, look, I'm glad Tottenham aren't signing him because his wages are ridiculously high. But it looks like Galatasaray are getting their man. And it looks like Arsenal and Spurs has had to miss out on a player. Let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm out.